Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zane here, and today I'm back with another VGC video for you all, keeping up my promise with daily uploads until VGC 15 rules are announced. As always, if you enjoyed the video and want to see more content on a daily basis, leave a like to show your support, and it definitely means a lot to me. Anyway, let's get into today's match. So, previously I've uploaded both games 1 and 2 against solariii in a best of 3 series we had for Nugget Bruges NPA tournament, and we're finally going down to game 3. Game 1 I was able to win in a pretty convincing fashion, but game 2 he kind of stomped me, especially with Zapdos and Thunder Wave. So for game 3, I realized that even though Ludicolo was a smart Pokemon to bring, it didn't do anything because it just got paralyzed. I figured if I brought Hariyama, which of course has the Guts ability, it would at least kind of deter him from Thunder Waving and spamming it. So I did swap out Ludicolo for Hariyama. In Game 2, he also didn't bring either Azumarill or Mawile, instead opting for Gengar and Mega Venusaur, and Hariyama has an excellent matchup against the 4 Pokemon he brought in Game 2. Unfortunately, solariii definitely got the edge on me in terms of team advantage. He made an excellent adjustment, bringing both Azumarill and Mawile into Game 3, not bringing Mega Venusaur or Gengar, and that was a really smart adjustment on his end. So, I was very scared in the beginning of the battle after I knew his 4 Pokemon. But without further ado, let's just get into this battle. Of course, I didn't bring Ludicolo. I also did not bring my Gothitelle, which this team kind of revolves around because he had the Gengar, he had the Hydreigon, the Mawile, the Azumarill. Really, most of his team was not Gothitelle friendly, and I decided I didn't need Trick Room to win these matches. And it was, you know, I didn't miss Trick Room in the first 2, so I figured why bring Goth in the 3rd game. So I lead with Hariyama and Salamence, which is definitely my safest lead because I can Fake Out, I can substitute with my Salamence, I can just Draco Meteor, and the only thing that really threatens Salamence is Gengar because it outspeeds it, but no Gengar lead here. He's going to switch out the Hydreigon to Azumarill to take this incoming Draco Meteor, and in retrospect, I probably should have Faked Out and substituted instead of faking out and Draco Meteoring, but I figured in the off chance that he wanted to stay in with the Hydreigon, you know, expecting some predicts from me like a Fake Out and a Draco Meteor until a Zapdos, he would have been able to take up a KO on the Salamence, and I didn't really want that, so I made the, you know, the safest play possible. Obviously I didn't gain anything from that, but I didn't really lose much either. However, he brings in both of his fairies, and obviously Hariyama and Salamence don't like fighting fairy types, so here I'm going to pull out a double switch into my own Mawile and Rotom Heat. I know he's probably going to either switch or protect that Mawile, not wanting to take the Fire Blast and play rough my Salamence slot. And so, by bringing in my own Mawile, I'll be able to intimidate both of his physical attackers, which is obviously great, and we'll see whether he actually goes for the play I predicted or not. He Mega Evolves Mawile, which indicates to me he's actually attacking, but surprisingly enough, he does not. You tend to not Mega Evolve Mawile unless you're attacking just because you want to conserve that Intimidate, but solariii decided to go for it anyway. However, he does make the play I expected, protecting Mawile and play roughing the Salamence slot, and suddenly things are looking a lot better for me. I have my Mawile, I've intimidated both of his physical attackers, and I've gotten Rotom Heat in safely, which can outspeed both of his physical attackers and burn them. Here I'm going to Mega Evolve Mawile, and I feel like I can make a pretty safe play by just burning his Mawile with Will-O-Wisp. Of course, it protected the last turn, so I'm guaranteed a free burn on that slot, and I went for the Rock Slide with Mawile instead of the Play Rough. I was really anticipating at least one of the two, if not both Pokemon switching out, and I was kind of expecting Zapdos to come back in. Regardless, it still does a nice amount of damage to that Hydreigon, as Mawile here takes that Iron Head like a champ, because of course his Mawile is both burned and at -1 from the Intimidate. So now I'm feeling really good about my position. The second turn looked really bad based off his switches, but things are finally going back into my way. Now, this following turn, I know his Mawile is either going to switch out or basically stay in useless, but if he wants any momentum, he's going to have to switch it out. I double protect here because I don't want to lose either of my Pokemon. I want to see what move the Hydreigon's going for. If he locks himself into Draco Meteor, it means my Mawile will be free to attack the following turn. Indeed, he does lock into Draco Meteor, so this following turn, I know I can switch out my Rotom Heat into Hariyama. Rotom Heat is definitely more important in this matchup because of its excellent matchup against Mawile and Azumarill, so I figured Hariyama can both take this Draco Meteor, and I'll still be able to have Rotom Heat in the back, which the Rotom Heat might not have been able to survive that Draco Meteor. You see that Hariyama takes it like a champ, it eats the Citrus Berry, getting back all the way to 90 HP, which is really nice, as his Zapdos goes for the Thunder Wave. And as we saw in Game 2, Thunder Wave was the bane of my existence. Fortunately enough though, this Rock Slide does connect, not with the Hydreigon unfortunately though, hits the Zapdos, which is obviously what I wanted to hit more, mainly for that super effective damage, but missing the Hydreigon definitely sucked, because I probably could have knocked it out with a Fake Out the following turn with Hariyama. Now, I'm still in a decent position, but Mawile Paralyze is always pretty scary. However, that Hydreigon is at -2, which definitely gives me some advantage in terms of momentum. He can't KO, or even if he does choose to target my Hariyama and try to pick up a KO on that slot, he'll be at -4. I also have a Fake Out here, so I do go for the Fake Out onto the Zapdos slot. Unfortunately, I am going to be fully paralyzed here. I believe I went for a Rock Slide here, which would have gotten, obviously, a good amount of damage on both of his Pokemon. Now, this following turn, I think my Hariyama can take a attack from the Azumarill if it's Waterfall, and I'm predicting the Waterfall, honestly, because he saw how I switched the Rotom Heat earlier on, and I actually do call that correctly. He goes for the Iron Head onto my own Mawile as well, but not before I get the knockoff off, revealing the Assault Vest, actually. My Mawile gets to play rough off, but his Azumarill is really bulky and takes the max attack play rough and hangs on with just a bit of HP. However, that last turn was really good for me. He didn't pick up the KO on Hariyama. I was able to knock off the Assault Vest and get a lot of damage off, so I'm really happy about that. I don't want to carelessly switch Hariyama out right now, because if he plays smart, he can just, double target that slot with a Waterfall play rough and maybe even pick up a potential KO. I know both of the Pokemon I have the back are really essential right now, so I'm just trying to do whatever I can to not choke the lead I already have, and now I'm in a really good position. I get Salamence in, intimidate both of his Pokemon. His Mawile is just taking damage from burn every turn. I go for the Sucker Punch on Azumarill here, knowing that he's either going to attack, of course, because he doesn't have any non-attack moves, or switch out. He does choose to stay in, and that's really good for me because I just pick up the knockout there. I go for the Substitute here, expecting a Protect or a switch out from the Mawile, but unfortunately it does not pan out for me as he stays in and gets to play rough off. Had I just Fire Blasted there, it basically would have ensured a KO, had it hit of course, and a win for me actually, because I'd be able to just Draco Meteor the Hydreigon and win the game. However, I'm still in a really good position here, as long as I can hit a Draco Meteor. If I miss a Draco Meteor on the Zapdos though, I might be in a really bad position, because it means he'll be able to HP Ice my Salamence if he chooses to make that play. I do once again go for the Sucker Punch, and once again he decides to stay in. Fortunately enough, not getting fully paralyzed, and I actually missed the Draco Meteor, but he goes for the Roost with the Zapdos, and I am really relieved to see the Roost instead of the HP Ice. Had he gone for the HP Ice, I think it would have been game over for me, but fortunately the Roost making up for the Draco Meteor miss. It means that now I'll be able to successfully outspeed and KO this Hydreigon and essentially take over the game. So I definitely had a heart attack after I saw the Draco Meteor miss, because had the HP Ice come out from that Zapdos that turn, then basically it would have been game over, because he'd be able to stall out the match. He's got Zapdos with Roost, which can heal continuously, and of course a Hydreigon, and Rotom Heat and Mawile don't exactly match up too well against that. Zapdos finally goes for the HP Ice, but it's a bit too late since I've already been able to knock out his Hydreigon, and Mawile was fully paralyzed here, but I know I can probably take this game as long as I hit my attacks, and here Rotom Heat tends to win against the Zapdos. Though Zapdos with Roost can make it a lot more interesting. Fortunately enough, he does not KO my Mawile with that Thunderbolt. My Mawile has, of course, some investment in HP, and here I'm able to successfully burn the Zapdos and get a full powered Rock Slide off, and that plus the burn is going to leave it with a sliver of HP, but this following turn I'm going to win. So my opponent just forfeits there, and that's going to be the 2-1 win for me in this best of 3 set. I think that was a really intense battle. I thought I lost after the second turn, mainly because I saw how good he had in terms of matchup with Double Fairy, but having 2 Intimidators definitely relieved a lot off of me in terms of pressure, and fortunately enough I was able to maneuver my way around, but he played a really great game as well, and actually in the end, I don't know if he even realized it, he probably was expecting the Draco Meteor just to connect, but had he just hit my Salamence with the HP Ice there, I most likely would have lost, so fortunately enough, even though I missed the Draco, it ended up panning out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that set. It was a really fun set. I definitely had a lot of fun. Shoutouts to solariii for an awesome set. I'll be uploading more VGC matches before the VGC 15 rules are coming out, of course, in the upcoming days. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.